Hello and welcome to another Assessment Academy. This is our 5th iteration of Assessment Academy, and today we'll be talking about the Middle States Self-Study that is being written by Siena College. Reaccreditation in 2014. First, I would like to introduce my guests, co-chairs for the self-study process, Dr. Mary Lou DeLegro, Associate Vice President of Academic Affairs Institutional Effectiveness, and Dr. Jim Harrison, Professor of History. Thank you and welcome. So first I wanted to talk about the accreditation process before we get into the status of the self-study. Siena College is accredited by Middle States Commission on Higher Education, abbreviated as MSCHE. Middle States has a list of 14 standards which were created to help guide colleges to better the education and preparation it gives to students that attend them. So to start off, Mary Lou, tell us a little bit about your position and how it relates to the accreditation process.
Well, ironically, since the last self-study, this position was created as a recommendation from the self-study process in 2004. And the position basically is responsible for facilitating all of the institutional and program assessment at the college and also overseeing the accreditation efforts. That's the self-study Middle States. It's also overseeing and supporting the accreditation efforts of the programs that are accredited on campus. Also, the office has an institutional research function that provides institutional reports and data that support the self-study and the other accreditation efforts.
So, Middle States is an opportunity for self-assessment for the institution. Could you tell us a little more about this process?
Well, sure. The self-study actually is one of a continuous process, meeting and being in contact with our accreditation agency, which is Middle States, the self-study being the most rigorous and the most involved and the most comprehensive of them. But we also submit an institutional profile, about a 30-page report to Middle States each year that updates the accreditation agency of our enrollment, some of our fiscal metrics, and some other information that they require every year. The self-study is a large document that the entire college is working on, and it also consists of other components: a design of that document, a team that will be from similar institutions and Middle States that will read our document and also come on campus and personally interview people that were involved in the self-study and those that basically are key to the college operations. And then there'll be a process of submitting that document, getting recommendations, providing feedback to those recommendations, and then those recommendations being finalized. And then the accumulation of that is the reaffirmation, since we are currently accredited. There's no reason to think that it would be otherwise, but it would be the reaffirmation of our accreditation, and that will happen sometime in the summer of 2014.
Okay. And this recording is during middle March of 2013. Jim, we've all been hearing about this process lately in emails and newsletters and things like that. What part of the accreditation process are we currently in, and could you tell us a little more about it?
Okay, we're currently in the review, editing, and revision phase. The 8 working groups assigned to address the Middle States standards of the characteristics of excellence developed research questions and now have successfully answered them, accumulated the information, and identified documentation. The first draft was submitted in November of 2012. After review, each report was returned to the respective committees with comments. A second draft revision was completed in February and has now been submitted to the editorial committee that consists of both faculty and administrators. This is where we are right now. Each member of the committee has been assigned a report with the direction to review with an eye toward assuring the fundamental questions have been answered and that evidence has been provided.
So what is the next step for the self-study process here at Siena?
The next step is for Mary Lou and myself pulling together the work of the editorial committee into a campus report that's going to be circulated for feedback to several of the stakeholder groups, which includes the students, the faculty, and the administration. This will begin when we come back from spring break, the first week in April.
Great. So the Siena community will be able to look at the self-study and provide feedback. How would they be able to take part in this process?
They'll be able to take part in the process and provide their comments and feedbacks in several ways. We're going to set up some in-person meetings that are similar to the President's Campus Conversations, but the meetings will be focused on specific constituents. So there'll be a meeting for the faculty, there'll be a meeting for the administrators. The President's Cabinet will have some time to deliberate on the draft of the self-study that will be presented to them. And there may potentially be an open meeting, and there will also be a meeting with students and a small representation of the alumni. We're also going to set up a web form that will allow people to comment on the self-study, but it'll be specific to the standards and the content that is contained in the self-study.
So what do either of you see as benefit side from this middle state process?
Well, I believe the benefit is that it's going to provide a comprehensive examination of the programs and the activities of the college as they relate to the middle state standards. It also offers an opportunity to evaluate our progress, achieving the strategic initiatives as identified in the strategic plan. And it also provides an introspective look that allows us to evaluate and examine how well Siena is doing in achieving its objectives, its educational objectives.
And I'll echo what Jim said. This is a fairly comprehensive self-evaluation. It gives the college the opportunity to see what it's doing, in most cases what it's doing well, but also the opportunity to identify areas for improvement and then also plan to move forward with those areas of improvement. I think it also has given many of the college constituents an opportunity to work with each other, which they may not have had that opportunity if we were not going through this self-study process. And also the way that it was designed at its inception was that we wanted it to be very inclusive. We wanted the process to be very transparent. So not everyone is involved, but I believe that most people are aware of the self-study, what it involves, and where we are in terms of progress, and where we are in terms of what we still need to do to complete the process of the self-study.
I think it also offers the opportunity for people to see what other elements of the college do that they're totally unfamiliar with.
Mm-hmm. So thank you for enlightening us on the process. You can read more about the current process in the OIE newsletter we send out every other month from OIE at siena.edu. You can also see the accreditation website at www.siena.edu/accreditation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching our Assessment Academy training video. If you have any questions or need additional help, you can contact me, Ryan Rose, at my email.